It's Brian Shannon from AlphaTrends.net. Today is Sunday, the 8th of February, 2009, and I've got a bunch of stocks here we're going to look at, so I'm going to go kind of quick. The market avoided what looked like almost certain death here, breaking this trend line last week. We saw Friday a big up day, and now the market is back kind of in a tighter range. We've still got a lot of macroeconomic information out there that's going to affect the market this week with stimulus plans, etc. A lot of earnings due out. So you've got to take it stock by stock and be very quick. Last week, just a look at some of the good stocks from last week were J.P. Morgan. We were looking at short down below that level, and then I'd said you wanted to cover it down near that 50% retracement. You got to be quick in these stocks, and even when these stocks look like they're breaking down real hard, like this one looked like it had the potential to do, there's no reason to take a loss. And you can see from this failed move lower came a fast move higher. We also saw the same story in Penn Gaming, where it broke below here. I had suggested covering some down near this level, and it just took off higher from there. So you've got to be extremely quick. Despite the fact that we're in a bear market, even these bearish looking setups can turn around very quickly. So you've got to be, again, discipline and risk management are your primary concerns. Some of the bigger winners last week were Perrigo, symbol PRGO. I had suggested maybe buying puts in front of earnings in this, and it completely imploded, which was very nice for the people who were participating. I didn't participate, but the point is, what can you do with these ideas? Same thing with Monsanto. I said that we wanted to buy it last Wednesday above this level here, and I had suggested to stop following it actually on Wednesday after the big move higher, but then it went another 7 points. So how make these ideas yours and basically trade them according to your way of looking at risk management and that sort of thing. So we were looking at the IYR as a potential breakdown. I had mentioned that on Twitter as well, that it was weaker, and I said worst case stop if you're going to get involved in IYR short was above this level 31.30, and you can see from there it ramped very more than $1 higher in the last hour and a half or so. So now the IYR also looks like it's avoided certain death for now. This week we have a lot of earnings in this group, so continue to keep an eye on that one, and the SDS if you decide that it's a bearish trade opportunity. We were also looking at Travelers. I'd said that you wanted to keep your stop below these lower highs. Basically, you would have been stopped out there about a break even in Travelers, probably. Chubb Corp, same thing. I said you wanted to break, probably see it short below this level. Worst case stop right up in here. These listed stocks, really, I don't have much patience with. I'm not involved. I'm not going to continue to update right away, but it still looks vulnerable. So, be aware of when they report earnings and that sort of thing. But, the stock looks vulnerable, but it's back above that 5-day moving average and maybe going to recover here. Again, look at the way Penn recovered from this sell-off. So you got to be very quick and not keep these things on a very short leash. We looked at IDTI, maybe above this level with a worst case stop here. I think you could raise your stop to break even if you're involved in IDTI. As far as stem cells go, I said, above this level, 258. It did get above there, but you can see it gapped higher. You don't want to chase those gaps. You want to wait for them to settle in. And this one got below VWAP, never recaptured it. So keep your eye on stem, maybe back above this level again, but it has to be, holding above daily VWAP if you really want to get the odds in your favor. We'd also looked at a potential short sale candidate in shares of North American Tanker. It did not meet the entry criteria of dropping below 28.50. This stock looks like it's going to be able to hold on for a little bit, so no reason to continue to watch that one. Some new ideas, and like I said, I've got a bunch of them, so I'm going to go quick. Baidu is above its 10, 20, and 50-day moving averages. The weekly, obviously, it's recovering in here, but a lot of these stocks are making runs from similar looking patterns, maybe above this level, about 126.40 or so. Absolute worst case stop goes below there. Keep raising your stop under higher lows if the stock makes them. This stock is CCOI, Cogent Communication Group, and maybe it's making a big cup and a handle in here. Here's your cup, sloppily drawn, and here's your handle. Nice tight little consolidation in here. Now in the 10-minute time frame, you can see that maybe getting above this high here, let's say above Friday's high, which was, we could take a look, about 705. So above 705, absolute worst case stop about 692 or so. So a couple pennies below Friday's low. CECO, the education stocks continue to be real strong in here. They rise up on big volume and consolidate on light volume the last 2 days. So here on the 10-minute time frame, maybe it needs to get back above 2250 or so. Keep your eye on that one. And COCO, COCO, this is Corinthian College, maybe above this level here, 2132 or so. The daily time frame, nice tight consolidation up here. You can see it was up on big volume in here. It's holding on strong above its rising 5-day moving average. I would say worst case stop probably underneath this level here. You can see it gapped down on Friday and recovered very nicely right up back to the high end. Solar stocks, we had some good action in some solar plays. So a lot of these stocks that I'm going to mention really just continue to look terrible here, but they have, they show a pattern of being able to get moving quickly higher. So keep your eye on stocks like CSIQ, maybe breaking above this level here. Stocks like JASO that are making these bases, over the last month or so, still in bear markets though. So these are only for trade candidates, nothing specific here. But these stocks can get going, very nicely higher. Worst case stop, for this type of stock on JASO below here, maybe getting above 288. SOL, same thing. This one, a listed stock, maybe above 385 or 387 or so. Worst case stop about a dime away. You can see again, these daily charts still look like a mess, but they can really get going nicely higher. Stock like SOLR here, stock looks terrible. They reported earnings last Wednesday, and basically this SOLR has gone from 3.5 up to close to 6. SOLF is another one, maybe above this level here, about about 499 or so. If SOLF gets above 499, maybe it's good for a quick 50-60 cents. And these, again, I would say are basically only day trades. I know that YGE reports this week. STP is another one to keep an eye on. Still terrible looking stocks, but they've built nice little bases in here recently, and perhaps maybe getting above, a little bit above $10 a share. Absolute worst case stop above, below that 970. I'm not going to update all these because there's just too many ideas. But we'll take a look at some of them on Tuesday as well. TSL is another solar play, maybe getting back above $7.95 or so. Keep an eye on that one. They're still terrible looking daily charts, but when these things go, they can experience very nice pops real quick, and it makes them worth keeping an eye on. CYPB is Cypress Biosciences. You can see it tried to recover at the 10, dropped back down to the 20-day moving average. Now it's stabilized in here. The weekly time frame still looks bullish, just kind of consolidating under here. But this has been an important level. Perhaps it can get going up towards about $11 a share, maybe above that 915. Absolute worst case stop about 890, so 25 cents. And if it can get up to, like I said, in that weekly time frame, up near $11 a share or so, makes an excellent risk reward. Expedia.com, XBXPE, broke past a little bit of resistance here that's been in play here for the last several months. So this is going back to November or so. Early November it broke down, held below that. Now it's up above it on a nice increase in volume. The 10-minute time frame, be careful because there's this real heavy volume at the end of the day. Let's let the stock prove itself. Maybe getting back above 10.15 or so. Don't chase gaps. Monitor that VWAP. See if it can hold on to the VWAP. Again, chase the gap or wait for VWAP is an article on the side of my blog under popular posts. Keep an eye on that. HRZ, Horizon Lines. Here's a low price listed stock that maybe getting above this level in here and holding above it for a little bit, that perhaps it can get going higher. It's beaten down severely from $35 a share. No idea what they do, but it's worth keeping an eye on. Same with NRG. NRG is I believe it's natural gas, and the UNG, Eric Bowling is long in there. It's the chart looks like a mess, but seasonal stuff, who knows. This keep an eye on this one. NRG, higher lows, coming up to this resistance numerous times, And Friday afternoon, we saw a little bit of strength. If you get involved here, probably worst case stop just below that level. I think you also want to keep an eye on the OIH. VQ is it traded massive volume here on Friday. It's another stock, and it's down from 24 to $2-3 a share. No idea what these guys do, but it's a low price listed stock, tightening the range in here. This one, again, real big volume late in the day. That might lead to something maybe above 340. It's worth keeping an eye on. Worst case stop, I'd say probably about 325 or so on VQ. VeriSign looks like maybe if it can get above this level here, that it could get going. A lot of these tech stocks are moving again. Look at Apple, look at Google, RIM, Amazon. So there are buyers for tech stocks out there. And this one got a little extended late in the day Friday. Ideally, maybe a pullback, then a push higher. But it's starting to look a lot better. CBST. CBST looks like a potential short sale candidate. Again, the market isn't being very kind to short sellers right now. Maybe it's going to take a break below 2180, and then we could get some downward momentum in here. If you get involved below there, absolute worst case stop, probably about $22.30. Another one that might look vulnerable is QLogic, symbol QLGC. You can see that this support was broken. It's holding below there. But if it for some reason hops back above that level, then all bets off. I would say that, if you want to short QLogic, probably below about $11.30 or so. I might have another video, or I've got some earnings plays that I'm looking at for next week that have interesting charts, and I may post that later. We'll see, but I think I should end this one out of the interest of time.